Mirror, mirror, fogged and loud, what truth today makes the future proud? I've been harping on this and I don't care what's on there. We got a little schmooze somewhere. There we go. We got to wipe the filthy mirror constantly. That's what we do. And that's your own soul reflection, but it also might be your own or the our collective, right? I got thrown off because I just thought I might have flashed you guys, but hopefully not. So I'm gonna harp on this 9 year cycle, y'all, because I, in many ways, I hate saying wasted because that's not it. Because of course, the life lessons from the last 9 years and the efforts and the struggles and the transformations are all important, right? I'm not dismissing the last 9 years. However, I am very, very, very aware. I can't really see at all. I mean, I can see, but I can't see computers and stuff very good without glasses, but they're kind of blurry or glary. So, yeah, the last 9 years, I was completely drug around by the media, by our political landscape, by, not to be rude because I love comedians, but our late night talk show hosts. I was drug around. Not even a dog on a leash. Like, I don't know. I can't think of something that you drag that lives. Um, Maybe that's why we all feel half alive. But yeah, I was drugged behind the apocalyptic Mad Max train ride we've been on since 2016. You know, um, the timeline is crazy for me. Like, I'm sure if you all pause and think about your timeline, how crazy the timeline is. But for me, 2015, of course, Hillary and Trump are campaigning and fighting for the election, right? Sometimes I'm like, there's no way this is real when I stop and I really think about what happened in the last 9 years, but bear with me. So, yeah, 2015, we're, November 8th or whatever, that night, we all wake up to Trump's America. And by February 2016, I became a tongue thruster. So at night, you pushed your tongue and it's a stress thing. And I'm doing it again and it's starting to move one of my teeth. But I mean, it was so bad that basically this tooth, but then a little bit my two front teeth were sticking out like sideways. So I had these perfect straight teeth and I had to go get Invisalign, basically like the knockoff of Invisalign to re-straighten them because I became a tongue thruster because of the media and political landscape in 2016. So marched in DC, Women's marched two more times that year. I believe we marched for babies in cages the following year. Yeah, hardcore sucked in by the machine 2016, 2017. 2018, marriage is falling apart or pretty much is apart. But, 16 years in, it's not that easy. And North Carolina has a 1 year separation law. So, really, 2019, the marriage falls apart. We start the separation. It's a whole mess. 2020, COVID. 2021, COVID. Bought a business that was kind of drowning from COVID with some like PPP loans and crap. Bad. With my ex. Bad. 2021, bad. 2022, bad. Um, 2023, here we go again. The circus. I had really disengaged from the circus mostly. Um, I really was upset about Bernie in 2016. So then 2020, didn't give a crap about um, Biden, not in a mean way. Thank you for your service, sir. But geez, oh Pete, we shouldn't have career politicians. I mean, look at San Marino in Italy. The presidents only stays or have their position for 6 months. At least that's how it was when I was there. I don't know if that's still true, but can you imagine? You can't, you can't, you can't be as scandalous if you're only there 6 months. I don't even think we should have a federal government. I think the 50 governors would do a much better job and have small committees and roundtables and, you know, I think I was seeing like Norway, I think people get to vote on pretty much everything all the time online. So like, yeah, like real democracy, super cool. But I didn't come on here to just talk about politics, but the last 9 years has been completely dominated by it. And because of all the chaos and because of Ukraine and Russia and the bots and the AI and all the chaos and how fast they throw stuff at us and how fast everything is happening and how fast the billionaires are investing in AI and just everything that basically changes everything for the regular folks. I was born in 1980. American Dream was very real, very real. I mean, I kind of felt like an independent woman that wanted to work, like, I mean, I grew up poor, so like no choice. But at the same time, it wasn't like, oh, I want to just be a housewife or just raise kids. It was like, anyway, and I don't mean that cruel at all. If you want to do that, freaking do it. Yeah, freaking do it. I'd do it right now if I could, but I'm 45 and these eggs ain't producing no babies for some rich baby daddy. Uh I kid. So then you got 2023, and it's like, no way, you guys, no way are we gonna like elect him again. There's no way it's gonna happen. But I'm like removed. I'm trying to like focus on work and focus on supporting women and focus on business and just focus on other things. So boom, we got the DNC messing up with the Kamala shoved down our throats versus doing a real DNC where we could have got really excited about a candidate and we would have all felt like we picked the candidate. Like, can you imagine what would have happened? And there's no point in sliding doors, really. But goodness me, Bernie 2016, Bernie would have won again in 2020. Maybe Trump would have won in 2024, but I don't think so because Bernie would have shifted so much stuff. But again, who knows if he really could have, because it would have been so much infighting, and there's no such thing as two political parties. At least he's technically a third party, but oh, somebody like that. Just kidding. They can't hear me, but it's not what? No, it's not live. It's not live. I do some live sometimes on Twitch, but for Substack, you can only go 5 minutes. So I just do the record feature. And you have to do it from your laptop. You can't do it from a mobile device. Hence why you're seeing a bit of the laptop. But I also love the trippiness of like, there's three of me and we're in the mirror. And like, think about all the mirrors, right? Like your job is a reflection. Your friends are a reflection. Your family's a reflection. Your hobbies are a reflection. It's like everything is a reflection of you and your soul. And so the last 9 years, we didn't have a lot of time to think about our souls. We didn't have a lot of time to think about our futures. We didn't have a lot of time to think, period. I mean, I feel like the billionaires and the politicians sit around and are like, okay, how can we throw so much at them every single day that they don't realize they're frogs in the boiling water? They are frogs in the boiling water. And because of the young ones having to have gone through COVID in school, whether high school or college, and now they're in their mid 20s or late 20s or early 20s, whatever. Like, they don't know anything else and add screens. So their stimuli, they're like, their nervous system is fried. Okay. We grew up in the luxury of nature and bike rides and, like, at least me, small town, no crime, like no sirens, like no drama. I mean, except the drama we created around the bonfires. But holy moly, the last 9 years are a complete circus shit show. Fuck these motherfuckers kind of thing. Like, I'm sorry, but no. So, even though I have beef with Bill Maher, he said something that has stuck with me and makes me giggle. And he said, "This time, I'm not going to let him take my mind." Even though I think now he did take Bill's mind. But what you take from that is, like, I'm not going to wake up and look at the news. I'm not going to doom scroll. I'm not going to get engaged. I'm not even going to care about federal politics, because there's no such thing as them caring about us. So that's been a huge shift, from an activist, you know, liberal Democrat to, I ain't even engaging, except, you can't zero engage. I mean, you have to know what's going on somewhat, and you can't help but see some things. So for me, I basically only get my news from comedians or TV shows that are, like, about the news, like the morning show. I wish Newsroom would come back. Oh my goodness. Newsroom was fast enough to keep up with today's news. You know what I'm saying? Like, Newsroom was quick. Oh, and she keeps showing up in all the, I can't, what's her name? Oh, I just had it. Anyway, his ex, that, producer, executive producer, and ex, she's been showing up in some movies and shows lately that are, like, tripping me out. But yeah, point being, I just really, in 2024, big breakup, messiness, all this stuff, like 2024, 2025, taking back my time, my life, my interests. And I poured in 2024 completely into supporting women entrepreneurs. That was, like, what I did all day, every day. And then Hurricane Helene hit at the end of 2024 and completely rocked my world again. So, yeah, I'm going to do a quick timeline so people can visually just see, because talking about it is like, holy moly. And I think it's important we all look at our last 9 years, even if it's painful. I mean, I giggle because was so painful. And when I think about it too hard, I mean, my body's shaking a little bit right now. Also, I'm not very comfortable. I'm, like, leaning. I'm, like, doing weird stuff because my neck's really hurting. Anywho, so yeah, we got to look at the last 9 years to even begin to hope for a better 9 years. And I don't mean dwell, and I don't mean shame and guilt. I don't mean it like, I mean, looking at like a movie. Like, okay, these last 9 years, if it was a montage, what were the best and worst moments? And I just listed a lot of the worst moments, but I really am listing what sucked my attention, what took me off my path, what deviated and messed with me. And I relied on systems, and I relied on commercial real estate, and I partnered with the wrong people, both in business and in life. Like, there's so much that, quote unquote, I did wrong. But it's not that I did it wrong. It was unintentional. It was like everything was happening so fast that I would grab opportunities as they came. And it was very, very reactive, reacting to the news, reacting to the babies in cages, reacting to just, really letting rage kind of lead the charge and the vibe, and yet being super goofy and hospitable and like, a connector and all these things. It's like this really duality balance, like raging, but also having a blast and like trying to ignite people and connect people and engage with people and support women. So it was like this, both these things going on, a lot of messiness in the personal life, like all that going on. And then this year, after Hurricane Helene, lost both businesses, lost my license for 30 days. It put an involuntary psych hold for 7 days, trying to board a flight to Iceland. 4 times in jail. Never been in trouble before in my life, really, besides like protests, and got arrested with Susan Sarandon once in DC for babies in cages. So yeah, 2025 sucked hard. Burnt all of it away. Burnt the jobs, burnt the people, burnt the connections, burnt the cords, burnt bridges, burnt, burnt the relationships and the reputation and everything that had built up living here in Asheville for the last 11 years. I mean, just burnt. Accidentally, some, you know, I don't know. I'm learning about this spirituality and this awakening and all of these things that are bigger than us and the cosmos. I mean, the ancient civilizations. Like, I'm really a newbie when it comes to all this stuff. I've always relied heavily on my intuition. I've always felt very connected to something, Mother Earth, the universe, I always say. I've always said I'm agnostic because I say we don't know. I'm open. What's up? Kind of thing. I used to say everything's on the table. Now I say everything's off the table. And then I'm choosing what's put on my table for 2026 and the next 9 years. So look at your last 9 years, laugh in its face, laugh in the face of what drug you around, bad relationships, bad politics, bad media, bad relationship with your kids, whatever it is. Last 9 years, bye bye. Last 9 years, bye bye. It's what's the next 9 years. We're stepping into a year one in the karmic, cosmic, universal sense. Okay? 2026. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay? And I'm telling you, you got to take control of these next 9 years. You've got to have intention. You can't wake up and look at your phone. You can't wake up and start like running around the house like a crazy person. Like, I'm really bad about that. I'm super bad about it. But I'm pretty good at taking time like this throughout the day to like, I call it brainstorming, but now I'm realizing more and more that it's like channeling or co-creating. It's definitely visioning. I'm going to start. I saw this fascinating woman today talking about remote viewing Antarctica. And, some of this stuff is woo woo. I grew up a tomboy jock, running around 28 acres. And that's what did it, though, right? I was already like spiritually connected to the earth as a kid running around in the woods. And so that shaped me so much. And I didn't necessarily know the words for it. And now I'm like brand new, it feels like, in some ways, learning all this stuff. But I've always felt things in my bones. I've never felt quote unquote voices. Like, and I'm not talking in the negative, mental health likes to talk about voices, but then of course you're allowed to hear the voice of God. It's like, okay, calm it down. More of like just thoughts, ideas. And it's not like I hear voices. It's just like they pour down and pour through. That's why I've always been a writer. I've written 10,000 words in one day before during NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. So like, that's not unheard of for me. I love Jack Kerouac on the road, like the stream of consciousness. Like you might do a 12-hour writing session. That kind of stuff I've always done. Part of it maybe is ADHD and you procrastinate and then you just have to do it all at once. But I never was a major procrastinator. I mean, some people probably would say, yeah, right. I don't feel like I ever was like, I mean, sometimes I'd be up all night studying or I'd be up all night finishing a paper, but I would think that was more my editing brain, like not wanting to stop. So I, just tweak, A plus, A plus, A plus, that old perfectionist. So yeah, 9 years. I mean, let's go. Right? I got ink on my thumb, always writing. Um, it's like for me, I mean, I am excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am letting go of the last 9 years. I'm letting go of all that ugliness. I am literally stepping fresh into 2026. Literally. So I invite you to join me. There's some resources. I need to put some more out. But if you go to riseofwampus.org and you go /999, that is our 9-year cycle resource center that we're going to be adding a ton to over the next couple of weeks. Because as we enter, I mean, really all of next year helps set you up for 2034, the end of the next 9-year cycle. So it's like, you don't have to rush and do everything in January. That's not what this is about. This is a marathon. This is 9 years of intention. Some people don't even like look 1 year ahead or 5 years ahead. We're looking 9, y'all. I'm 45 right now. I'm going to be 54, which adds to the fun 9-ness because I'm 4 plus 5, 5 plus 4, right? 9. So yeah, there's a lot of 9s floating around here. And that's awesome. It's freaking fabulous. So let's look at the last 9, laugh in their faces, laugh in the faces of the people that did you wrong or hurt you, or the systems that tried to break you, or systems that tried to erase you, the systems that tried to cage you. And it's like, what's the next 9? What's the next 9? Like your 20, 30, 40 self is sitting there waiting for you to get there. And it's so fabulous that they're trying to like sprint backwards to you instead of you having to feel like you sprinting forwards like we did the last 9 years where we were like this hustle mode, like last 9 years were crazy. That's why it's so important to travel. Europe, oh my God, they're like sitting around. Well, I haven't been overseas in a little bit, but Croatia probably was the last trip. And, they're taking 3-hour dinners, y'all. They just know how to live way slower, way slower. I'm sure it's speeding up now with how everything is, but, ooh, we got to slow down. Our poor bodies and nervous systems are holding all of this. And like, that's why my body has been rocked this year, both by me not treating it the way I should and not sleeping right and not drinking enough water, all the bad things, but still trying to be healthy, trying to eat healthy, like trying to exercise, all those wonderful things, stay strong, walk a ton. Never know in the apocalypse when you need to walk. But yeah. Whew. And then, of course, police brutality and being caged will rock your body for sure. Like in ways that you're like, how is this stuff not broken? How's my knee or my ankles not broken or my wrists? Like it like almost is like, huh? So check it out. riseofwampus.org/999. There's some resources there. There's some journals. There's some prompts. Just think about it. Even if you only think about it, like we've got, I think we have the nighttime. If I haven't put it out yet, I will. Just you're capturing one thing you want to be true in 999, September 9th, 2034. You just one thing you want to be true. I want to eat shrimp once a week. I mean, maybe that sounds ridiculous, but like, I don't eat enough shrimp, and I love shrimp, and it's so easy, and you can do everything with it. So versatile, and it's on sale a lot. I don't love cooking fish, but I miss seafood, and I don't live in a seafood place right now, so it's like, but shrimp is shrimp. And so, yeah, I mean, just talking out loud about what you want then and writing it down and, you know, quote unquote, like communing with that future version of you. I mean, that shit is powerful because she is older and wiser and she is a little judgier. I mean, you feel it. The older you get, the more judgy you are. And it's just instinct. You're like, good person, bad person. Don't want to do that. Do want to do that. It's very like intentionality is huge. It's huge. And of course, it's because we're creeping on that halfway mark and we're like, want to squeeze more out of life. And, if you're like me, you're like, okay, I really want to find my person, my real true love, so I can have 40 good years with them. That kind of, I mean, maybe that sounds intense too, but I don't care. People have always kind of I thought about the future too much. I mean, I talk about one day I will be a millionaire. Oh, I'm sure you will. Like it. I think I've always kind of freaked people out with my willingness to talk about when I'm 85, when I'm 60. So yeah, we ain't just talking about 2026, y'all. New Year's resolutions, how many like 83% fail? Nah, we're doing it different. We're setting intentions every day. We're thinking about 9 years from now. And it doesn't mean that you're like over there, like thinking about it, obsessing. It's not, it's co-creating. It's fantasizing and dreaming. And, Pinterest is really great for this. I'm really getting back into Pinterest, y'all, because man, oh man, it's vision boarding. And I'm still have my vision board from last New Year's Eve because I'm old now and I vision board on New Year's Eve instead of go out and do fun things. But vision board on my PJs is pretty darn fun with my pups. And so this year I'm going to paint over last year's because I already got pictures, of course. I'm going to paint over it and I'm going to use that same piece and do it again. And it's going to become like a layered piece of art eventually, or maybe right away. I don't know. And it's not going to be for 2026. It's going to be a 9-year vision board. It's going to be powerful. So you don't got any hot New Year's Eve plans? Join me. Vision board that for 999. Dream, laugh, love. Think about the vacation you want to be on. Think about where you want to be, in 2034. Where do you want to live? Who do you want to be with? And guess what? It's okay if the person you're with now and you're like, ooh, 9 years from now, be with them. Not like how it is right now. And that's okay. That's good information. You don't have to act on it. It doesn't mean the relationship's over, that it must end. It just means, okay, information. This is all information gathering. What kind of car do you want to drive? I don't even have a vehicle right now. It sucks, but working on it. Got my electric bike, working out pretty good. But I'm thinking about my dream car for 9 years from now. That's okay. The future is sprinting towards you. You don't have to sprint toward it anymore. You start talking 2034 you start thinking like her, you start thinking about what she wants, she'll come faster because she'll want you to have what she has as soon as possible. See what I'm saying? We've been sprinting and sprinting and sprinting, trying to get forward, trying to get past things. Now we need to slow way down and let the future sprint to us by talking about what we want, envisioning what we want, thinking about what we want. Let the past go, laugh at it, Write it down. I highly recommend writing at least one chapter per year to start like towards your memoir, or a couple chapters from each year. I mean, that boom, you've got a freaking memoir right there, just based on the last 9 years. Think about that. Think about that. Okay, this was a long one, but there was a lot of good stuff to say, and it's Sunday, and I felt like sharing my heart. Now I'm going to go research remote visioning because I think I've done it accidentally when I was under duress and when I've been inside their cages. So now learning more about it, it's not the first time I've heard the term, but it's she described it so beautifully. Type in remote vision Antarctica on Instagram, maybe you can find it. But I'll try to put the link in here for you guys. But I'm like, holy moly! Like, let's just say it's a gift, or maybe it's something you can train yourself. I don't freaking know. But if I've already sort of kind of accidentally done it, or at least I think I sort of kind of maybe did, even if it's just my imagination on overdrive, and that's okay. Maybe that's kind of what remote visioning is, but 10 levels up. I've had very strong visions of like the city of Atlantis, but it's really every city rising to its full potential. Like, it's like these, I've never thought of it the way she was, kind of like, this is what is there. She's so like, I see what is there, but is she seeing what's there now or in the future? You got to kind of think about that too, timeline wise. It's like, well, maybe she's seeing something that doesn't even exist there yet, but it's going to. And I've definitely seen some glimpses of a very ugly future and a very beautiful future. I've seen glimpses of both. What does that mean? It could just mean I have a very active imagination and I need to be writing books and screenplays all the time. Or it could be something else. We'll just leave it there. I am much more comfortable as an English nerd, English major, doing a little research, doing a little reading before I really dig into like what has happened, what have I seen, what have I witnessed. And let's be frank, what's real and what's not, but not in a sense of like hallucinations, not in a sense of like, oh, you just like totally made that up. No, it's not that. It's what writers do, right? I mean, Harry Potter, Twilight, like they're creating worlds. Now, are you creating it from scratch? Are you creating it from inspiration? Are you creating it from source? Are you creating it from visions? There's creation is creation. And I don't necessarily think it matters so much about where it comes from or how even I mean, that it does matter. Let's be honest, it matters. But it's the what comes through. I mean, how is pretty cool. If we can like learn more about remote visioning and stuff, like, whoa. So yeah, it's always the same. Who, what, when, where, why, how. It's always the same. You want to know those things about the fifth dimension or the 12th dimension. I heard the other day, I was like, what? Like, it is a massive journey. And I follow people that say things and speak in spiritual awakening terms that I have to watch the video 2 or 3 times. I've honestly started like, if something confuses me or like is over my head or is new to me, I like try to watch it once, then I let it play again and like kind of just listen, less watching, more listening. And then I usually play it again. If I'm really interested, like this woman talking about remote visiting in Antarctica, I listened to it 3 or 4 times. And like the third or fourth, I was like putting dishes away, right? Like it's on and I'm not fully paying attention, but it's like, I'm kind of like, I don't know. it feels like a way for me to learn kind of quick and still a little deep at the same time. Like it's sticking if I do it this way where I'm watching, listening, half watching, listening, maybe watching, it's because they're so short usually. Like I'm doing a long one today, but like even mine are like have been mostly like 5 minutes or less or 10 minutes or less. So as far as a little episode, a little chunk, a little channeling, but I'm extremely passionate about this 999, I guess, portal. Hope I'm using that right. You see portal thrown around a lot. I'm like, okay, portal. But we're getting ready to step into 1/1/2026. We already know that 2026 is a 1 year. So now we're going 1 + 1 + 1 is 3. And I don't know. 3 is obviously 3 times 3 is 9. Like whatever. You're starting ahead of the game on January 1st is how I'm thinking of it. If you're into this numerology and thinking about the next 9 years, why not start ahead of the game a little bit? And believe and feel and act as if life is a game. Remember the game of life that we played growing up? Like, I think we've gotten so bogged down and weighed down and misused and abused and made to feel hopeless and scared and fear all the time, that we've forgotten that life is a big old freaking game and we just got to freaking figure it out. And I say that with obviously the privilege that I have and born with, but first day of kindergarten, I got called trailer trash. So don't think I'm Miss Silver Spoon or anything. But yeah, next 9 are ours. And remember, Wampus Cats, the future can always wish until morning.